Hello, sixth graders. Today we're going to look at choose a measure of center. Your objective for today is find the mean, the median, and the mode for a given data set and determine the best measure of center to describe the data set. All right, the table shows the number of songs downloaded in 1 week by some students. What do you notice about the data in the table? So that kind of leads us to our vocabulary word today, and that word is outlier. So an outlier is a value much greater or much less than the other values in the data set. A set of data can have more than one outlier. All right, so hopefully from this data set you can see that we do have an outlier, and that outlier would be 44. So the data value of 44 is much larger than the other data values in the table. Complete the dot plot to represent the data. So, first point is 12, so that would be here. Then we have 13, we have 10, we have 9. We have another 13, we have 44, we have 15, and we have another 12. Okay, so hopefully you can see that's what your dot plot should look like. Which data in the value set is an outlier? Explain how you know. Well, once again, we've already talked about 44. And the reason why we know it's much larger than the other values. Much larger than the other values. All right, so now we got to find the mean, the median, and the mode with and without the outlier, then complete the sentence. All right, so the first thing we have to do is put them in order. From least to greatest or greatest to least. So I'm going to do that right here. So we would have, I'm going to do least to greatest. So 9, 10, 12, 12, 13, 13, 15, and 44, which is the outlier. All right, so we have to find it with and without. So the mean with the outlier. So we need to add them all up. So that would be 9, 10, 24, 26, 15, and 44. So that gives me a total of 128. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 data points. And so we can go ahead and look at it without too, right? So I can take that 128 and I can subtract that 44. So that gives me 84, but we would only divide it by 7. All right, so the mean with the outlier. So 128 divided by 8 is 16. And the mean without the outlier would be 84 divided by 7 would be 12. So the outlier makes the mean larger. So because this outlier is larger, our mean would be larger. Now, if our outlier was smaller, then it would affect the mean and make that mean smaller. Okay, so it depends on what type of outlier you have. All right, the median with the outlier. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means these two numbers here would be my median. So that would be, add them together, divide by 2, so we would get 12.5. If we take off that, that means 12 would be the median. So once again, the effect that the outlier has makes it larger. All right, the mode. The mode is the number that occurs the most. Well, we have two of them, right? So the mode The mode with is 12 and 13 because we have 2 13s and 2 12s. And then the mode without the outlier is still 12 and 13. So it has no effect. No effect at all. Alright, so let's talk about that turn and talk. When the outlier is included, which measure of center is the least representative of the data set and why? Well, mean, because once again, depending on how large that outlier is, it's going to skew that mean. So, or how low the outlier is. So, depends on how little or large to skew the mean. Okay, so the larger it is, the mean will be skewed high. The smaller, the mean will be lower. Okay? Alright, so let's step it out. A group of friends decided to see who can balance themselves the longest on one foot with their eyes closed. The results in seconds are listed. So 21, 21, 23, 11, 48, 21, 16, 15, and 13. So we're going to complete that dot plot, and we're probably going to need to go ahead and put them in order as well. So let's go ahead and do that. So we are going to have a 11, a 13, 15, 16, 21, 21, 21, 23, and a 48. Alright, so 11, so 12, 13 would be here, 14, 15 would be here, 16 would be there, so we have 3 21s, we have a 23, and we have a 48. So hopefully you can see that that 48 is definitely the outlier. So use the dot plot to complete the sentence. The data value of 48 is an outlier. Okay, so we know that the outliers affect the mean. So the mean with the outlier. Well, so with the outlier we get, add them all up, we get 189 divided by 9. I know that because I've already done some of the work ahead of time. So 189 divided by 9 is 21. And then without the outlier, that would give me 141 divided by 8, which gives me 17 and 625 thousandths. Alright, so this would be 21, 17.625. We already know if the outlier is larger, it's going to make my mean larger. Alright, so the median of the outlier, so let's go back up here. So with it in, so 1, 2, 3, 4, right? If I take that off, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this would be 21 with the outlier. So when we take that off, that means that 16 and 21 would be that. So we need to do 21 plus 16, which is 37 divided by 2, which is 18.5. All right, so let's fill it out. So this would be 18 and 5/10. So the outlier made the median smaller. Oh, I'm sorry, larger because of the outlier. Yep. And then the mode, so that's the number that occurs the most. We know it does not affect. Okay. All right. So the best measure of center for this data set is the median or the mode, because the mean with the outlier is too high. All right. So at this time, pause the video and complete that check for understanding, and then unpause and check what you got. All right. Welcome back. Xander drew 10 cards at random from a deck of cards. The deck is composed of 3 sets of cards numbered 1 through 10 and 3 cards numbered 50. He recorded the numbers he drew, so 8, 7, 9, 1, 10, 10, 50, 2, 5, and 3. Find the mean, the median, and the mode of the data. What would happen to the mean, median, and mode if Xander drew a 4th card and a number 4 card instead of a 50? All right, so we got to find it with all of that. So if we put them in order, we would have 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, and 50. So that would be my order. So with it would be 105 divided by 10. So we know that it's a power of 10, right? So the mean would be 10.5. And we're going to call this width. So that would be 10.5. Okay. The mode would be 10. And the median, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it looks like 7 and 8. So that would be 7.5 would be the median. Okay, so we're going to call this one out. So that would be without. So instead of 105, we would end up with 105 minus 50, which is 55, but we have to add that 4 card to it. So that would give me 59 divided by 10, right? So that would give me 5.9. And then the mode would stay the same. And then the median would stay the same because I'm taking that out, but I'm adding a 4 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So my median would still be 7 and 8. So it would still be the same. Okay? All right, so how does it affect it? So mean is larger. Mode stays. And median stays. All right, so that's what you would get. All right. Number 2, find the mean, median, and mode of the data. Which outlier, 0 or 100, affects the data the most? Ooh, that one's tricky because both of them are pretty far from the data. All right, so put them in order. 0, 25, 25, 25, and 100, right? Oops, not 1,000, Michelle. All right. So that would give me 175 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 175 divided by 5 is 35. So if we remove the 0, that would give me 175 divided by 4, right? So that would give me 43.75. If we remove the 100, that would give me 75 over 4. So 75 divided by 4 would be 18.75. Okay, so as you can see, taking the 0 and dividing by less would increase the mean, but if we take out that 100, it drastically decreases that mean. So I say removing the 100 is going to make that biggest effect. Okay? All right, well, that is it. Today is the to complete your on your own, and that is on page 479, or complete it in the N2 math program. Thank you, and have a great day.